What's up guys, Wade Willis here for my playthrough of Umineko. Sorry for the delay in between episodes, I had a ton of stuff going on, but I'm back. I will try to be getting these out a bit more regularly, and yeah, I'm just excited to see where this story goes from here. I will probably only have like 4 more videos for this questions arc, maybe 5 at most. I could be totally wrong, maybe there's going to be 10 more, but I do like that we were diving into different things outside of the loops. I love when they do that in this When They Cry universe. It makes things a bit more interesting for me, because when we go through loop after loop after loop, it can get a little bit monotonous, and that really broke it up for me, and I'm revitalized and ready to go forward. And you guys, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for tons of When They Cry content, anime reviews, anime reactions. I have a new reaction to Madoka Magica out. I'm going to be doing a review to the Rebellion movies here soon, and I'm doing reactions to Death Parade, which I have never watched before either. So check those out, guys, and yeah, let's go on this journey. Go.
Sate, 私からの話は以上だ。
Okay. Oh yeah, Kinzo showed up. Alright. It had been a while since I got into this.
何にも必要はない。4人の不出来なる息子たちがいたという私の夢が覚めるだけの話なのだ。
Homie is just a savage. I love it.
お前たちにとってこれより目の前で起こることはまさに夢、幻、あるいはこの世のものと思えぬ理解に及ばぬ世界だろう。
Alright.
しかしそれこそが我が現実。お前たちという出来の悪き浅い夢は今こそようやく覚めるのだ。
Word, okay.
さあ、もうゲームは始まっているぞ。これだけいては誰から命を奪えばいいものやら。さらばだ、出来の悪き息子たちよ。そして生涯でただ一度、そして最後に私の儀式のために役に立て。
Amazing father.
いでよ、ペンドラゴンの記念兵たちよ。
When Kinzo raised his arms high like an opera singer and yelled through a packed audience, air shattered like a glass, and outlines of 3 people who supposedly hadn't been invited to the island appeared. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, damn. We haven't had the sexy eye patch one yet. I'm all about her already. 3 girls with strange forms suddenly appeared behind Kinzo. Where from? When? Who? Who were they? The humans were thrown off balance and their minds went blank, because they spent all that time thinking they lost their last chance to survive. Yeah, this is game over. Well, we knew that was gonna happen. I'm sorry guys, I got a bloody nose right before this. I have to like plug my nose, so this is gonna look ridiculous for a little bit. Okay. The show must go on.
自由射撃了解であります。良き標的に感謝。かっこ自由射撃開始。
西一番乗りだね。シャッハ
When Fortune scratched the air with her finger, a golden bow appeared in empty space, and she pulled its string. The golden arrow that had been ready was fired off without any hesitation, flew around the room, leaving haphazard golden curves everywhere, and chose Natsui from among those sitting at the table of the family conference, pulverizing the left half of her face. Dang, I was thinking she was gonna... I like her. Flesh and deep red blood scattered around, leaving massive red sparks splatter marks on the relatives' faces and the pure white tablecloth. Yeah, I did not expect him to come in just dick swinging over here, though. Silence fell. Despite the massive number of deep red spots left on the tablecloth, no one could understand why Natsui's head was half smashed, nor why she was hanging her head as though dozing while still sitting. And they watched on in silence. Those sitting on Natsui's right-hand side were silent relatively for a long time, but those sitting on her left were not. Because the people sitting on that side had been shown her head had been smashed open like a watermelon or a pomegranate, and could even see inside her. Oh!
まずは一人、夏日か。最後まで運のない女だ。
Yeah, I honestly thought she was gonna like last longer because I know people had told me we learn more about her, so I kind of thought this was gonna be like her chapter, but nope.
WO 射撃
After scratching the empty air where the same way and sending her blow, 00 fired as well. After it flew around at high speeds like a golden arrow, 410 had released, drawing a convoluted curve in the same manner. It smashed half of Rudo's head in the same way, and he looked at Natsui in shock, killing him instantly. This time, everyone managed to avoid freezing up mentally. They realized that the fearsome murder had started playing out right in front of them, just as Kizo had said. I like how no one had screamed or anything, and they realized that Kizo would probably kill even more. No shit, Sherlock. Yeah, okay. He said 6. What do you guys think after one person died? Shrill screams burst out. Even so, they didn't know what to do. So they could only keep screaming and flapping their wide open mouths like goldfish. Well, you're next. As Ava asked Kizo that in total shock, Hideyoshi, who had come to his senses faster than anyone else, had risen to his feet and pulled her arm from behind. Oh. However, merciless fate chose for the third sacrifice was Hideyoshi. Just like the two before him, half of Hideyoshi's head was neatly smashed, and the right side of his head, which had been facing in the direction at the time, had been blown away, with its contents exploded like a watermelon or pomegranate. Still holding Ava, Hideyoshi slipped backward and fell down. Still held by her beloved husband, Ava fell backward towards with him. Ava screamed. It was only natural. The face of the one she'd been looking for had been half lost, and the crushed skull, the mashed brains, and the crushed jaw all lay bare.
45着弾命中
Yeah. I love when they do that, like, oh, you hit. Okay. I'm a bit surprised because I thought his magical skills had, like, been lost, and now he's using the Cheister sisters? Or Cheister sisters? Okay, take him out. It's... You guys are getting sacrificed. Oh. When Krauss stood up forcefully and was about to rush Kizo, 00 blocked him. With her slender-looking body, she held back Krauss with just the palm of her right hand. He still tried to resist and attack Kizo, so 00 lifted Krauss by the nape of the neck and twisted into his Adam's apple with her thumb. It seemed to be very painful, and Krauss was overcome with agony. Yeah, they ain't gonna help you. Oh, I forgot about this dipshit's here too. Nandra's sharp words finally dissolved the spell that had been holding them down in their chairs. When Goto and Kumasama each tried to escape from the dining hall first, 410 moved in an instant and appeared blocking their way. Is she gonna go, Nihi?
Nihi.
Oh, called it.
逃がすと思ったかに
お助け
ゴーダさん伏せて
Even though Goto didn't understand, he crouched when he heard Kirya's sharp voice. Then a burst of air rushed above his head. Kirya had taken a big swing with a chair to mow 410 down. Before Ted, still with a mocking expression, easily caught that widely swung chair with a single hand.
おっかない女だね。旦那の後がそんなに追いたい？
Oh man! From the cuff of her arm, where she had caught the chair, something like a shiny golden snake appeared, wrapped itself around the chair and burst open. It was a fearsome power, like a vice, but Kiria realized that being in front of her, which looked like a girl, was actually something that surpassed her knowledge and what human could not even begin to oppose. Her head was filled with a fierce alarm bell that welled up from deep inside her. Genji, Shannon, Cannon, all the servants permitted to where the one-winged eagle continued to stand calmly at attention by the wall, even when the scene like this was before their eyes, making them look so bizarre and eerie. For an instant, Kiria thought they managed to stay calm because they were the enemy, and it would give a guarantee that they wouldn't be killed. But as soon as she thought that, the sight of Genji's face, damn, even Genji?
Genji-san.
45着弾命中。
ほほう、源氏め。これは運が悪い。
Homie is a savage.
安らかに眠れ、我が友よ。そなたの死は無駄にはならぬぞ。我が愛しき魔女復活の重要なる13の鍵の一つとなるのだから。
Half of Genji's expression that remained was as indifferent as ever. He tilted, fell over, and sent a blood-red splatter out across the floor.
Genji様。
Are you okay?
僕たちなんて所詮は魔女の駒なんだ。
Well, yeah, I mean...
所詮。
From the meek and frustrated, no, resigned expressions on Shannon and Caden's face, no one could sense any naive hopes that they would be rescued. That's right. Kinzo was, in the truest sense, carrying out these murders at random. In the truest sense, he was killing like it was a game to see who would be saved more than who would be killed.
さて、次は誰を狙うかに。
Forten looked at Kyrie for a second. In that second, Kyrie was prepared for her own death. And when she readied her gold bow midair, Forten was looking at someone else over Kyrie's shoulder. So as imprudent as it was, Kyrie felt as though she had been saved. Again, an ugly, exploding, popping sound rang out through the room. Who was it this time? When Kyrie turned her face in the direction of the sound, she saw blood gushing like a fountain and Ava lying on her husband's chest. Of course, her face had been half smashed just like her husband's. Fortuna mercilessly targeted Ava as she clung to her husband's corpse, sobbing. Rose's objection didn't reach Kinzo as he continued to laugh loudly in the blood-spattered dining hall, and she wasn't able to lessen Krause's pain at being lifted up by the nape of the neck by 00. So Rose had no choice but to use... That is dumb. She lifted up the chair beside her and gave a warning. That'd be kind of sick if Rosa killed Kinzo.
できぬな。それを望むならば、お前の自らの力で阻止するがよい。自らの運命は自らの手で切り開け。
Are we gonna see she has magic powers or something?
常に誰かの背に隠れ、怯えてきたお前に宿る人生最後の国旗を見せてみよう。
Oh. The chair that Rosa had lifted up swung down at the father who had reigned as a symbol of terror for her entire life. It was the greatest final act of bravery and self-control in Rosa's life. What Kinzo had said might have even been true. If she had grasped that courage much sooner, her life might have become more free, unrestrained by anyone else. What? Then there was a bursting sound. The sound of Rosa's chair fiercely hit Kinzo. Could not have been this. With the chair still lifted up, she neatly lost half her head and slumped over. Still holding out Kraus with one hand, Double O had struck her hand out towards Rosa. The golden snake that released from that arm had constricted Rosa in a helix and smashed into her head.
防衛射撃資金弾の無礼をお詫びするであります。
構わぬ。ん？これで6人であるか。
はい、ゴールドスミス卿。これで6人であります。
When she had differently communicated that, Double O let go of Kraus, whom she had been lifting up the whole time.
第一の番の生贄はエヴァにルドルフにローザ、夏日、秀吉、そして源氏であるか。
It was a massacre that happened in an instant. The interior of the dining hall had been dirtied by a blood spatter, and the 6 unlucky victims lay with their heads brutally exposed. In a way that was fitting for that abnormal space, Kinzo's abnormal laugh alone echoed out.
いよいよに幕を開けたぞ。ベアトリーチェを蘇らせる儀式の始まりだ。運よく第一の番を逃れた者たちに我が友人たちを紹介しようではないか。いでよ、我が友よ。ロノウェイ。
Oh, my boy. When Kinzo called Ronov's name, the demon butler showed himself in midair, bowing respectfully.
皆様方、はじめまして。
This is way different than any of the other ones, so I'm...
そして、ご無沙汰の皆様におかれましてはごきげんよう。これはまた派手に散らかされましたようで。
よいわ。我が白チュームのごとき日々を覚ますにはこの程度の刺激が必要だ。
It's going to be interesting to see how Kraus handles the situation.
頼れる執事であり72柱の大悪魔であるロノウェだ。
以後お見知りおき。
Just who was he making that introduction to? Kraus and Kyrie were still down on their backsides. Nanjo and Goda and Kuwasawa could only look up at this middle-aged gentleman they did not know in shock. Only Shannon and Cannon seemed to recognize him, and they bowed deeply.
源氏には挨拶が叶いませんでしたか。せめて苦痛なく役目を終えられたなら良いのですが。
頭部直撃弾にて即死でした。普通を味わう暇もありません。
そうですか。結構です。
続けて友を紹介しよう。いでよ、我が友、ワルギリア。
Alright guys, I am pumped now. This is like... Once again, a silhouette of someone the relatives didn't know appeared in an empty space. She appeared in a refined dress while making an elegant greeting.
召喚を感謝します、親方さん。
That freaking twist at the end of the last one, where she was bad the whole time, I did not see that coming.
許されるならば、このような血生臭き場に呼び出されたくはありませんでしたが。
こやつも紹介しよう。我が友であり、頼れる相談役でもあるワルギリアだ。 偉大なる有限の魔女であるお前の力を我が儀式に借りたい。その力を貸せ。
お断りしようにも、あなたの強力な召喚霊族下にある身ではそれも叶いません。御意に、親方様。
Yeah, how does he have so much power now?
恐ろしいお方。
Okay, I'm gonna look this up. I gotta check this, guys. This is Goldsmith is Kinzo's sorcerer name. His skill as a summoner is legendary for the current era. His summoning ability surpasses even Beatrice's at times. However, he is very mismatched, excelling in some areas where fatally lacking as a sorcerer in others. Magic with enough power to reheat a cup of black tea may be beyond him, but he's capable of summoning demons with magic strong enough to boil the sea. The source of his magic is found in arithmetic miracles, and his magical compendium is unique. Later on, even Beatrice took note of this and would rearrange her own compendium accordingly. Let's see what it says for these. Certainty lived 1,000 years. I'm trying to just see if there's anything different for her. The willpower certainty is far stronger than the endless, which repeats over and over idly. The Witch of Miracles has lived 1,000 years to defeat Beatrice in her game through a piece called Ange. The Voyager Witch who crosses the Sea of Fragments are beings far superior to the witches who cannot leave their own territories. While they may be on even footing inside this territory, her true magical power far surpasses that of Beatrice. What is sought by those witches who repeatedly void it in an attempt to escape boredom. Okay. Sakataro, Lady Maria's white heart, which was torn apart. His broken vessel can only be regenerated by the Meister who created him, Rosa. However, Rosa disposed... Oh! He can be regenerated by Rosa. Interesting. Okay. However, Rosa disposed of the vessel's fragments and even lost the pattern paper. On top of that, his existence was denied by the Maester herself, so the resurrection is now impossible. The Maester died in 1986, and any chance for his resurrection disappeared for all time. Even the Endless Witch Beatrice could not manage it. Well, this is going to come back. This is very interesting how... What's this? Okay. Ange, the Endless Witch who will live for 1,000 years in the future, or perhaps a hunter of witches who will fell them all. Witches who cannot be felled if they are not understood. Witches who cannot be felled even if they are understood. To understand witches and yet deny them. Only this contradictory power gives her the blade with which to fell the witches. She loves bullying the weak and is capable of using trial and error endlessly to find the cruelest fate that could possibly be given. And she toys with her victims even further by piling one after another. This witch is extremely powerful, but word has it that she sometimes becomes obsessed with creating certain patterns so that her means end up becoming her goals. Maria, Witch of Origins, one who will live for 1,000 years in the future. She holds a motherly magical power which gives birth to a 1 from a sea of 0. Guys, that's a game changer right there. At a glance, this magical power is frail, but no matter how many times you multiply 0, you never end up with anything more than 0. However, the one she gave birth to will one day surpass even the heavens. She is loyally protected by Beatrice, who understands her true worth. The two of them are members of the same alliance. That is an absolute game changer. Okay. Wow. Okay. Dang, I should have been reading those more, but I don't know when they showed those. That is... Yeah, that is...
お嬢様をもはるかに上回るとは恐ろしい。
So he's saying
後
basically
ろ
what I
宮の
just
地
heard.
に旋律を覚えます。
エアトリーチェ復活の儀式を執り行うために、私は召喚師としての全てを尽くすだろう。まだ足りぬな。
He's gonna summon like Bahamut next.
この度の儀式の完璧なる遂行
If
の
homie
た
pulls
め
out
に
Knights of the Round like we're in
さら
Final
に召喚
Fantasy
しよう。
VII, I'm gonna lose it.
ペンドラゴンの記念碑に炉の上にワルギリア。
I think that's all the bunny rabbit ones that are in this thing
ま
behind
だ
me.
呼べるぞ。我が魔力ならまだまだ呼べる。我が召喚に応えよ。
Uh-oh. Oh, dude, shit's about to get what?
72柱が一人。
Gop?
ガープよ。
Who the hell is this guy?
ガープ
Oh, it's a girl?
さらにこの島の侵食が進んだということでしょう。
Oh, and some of this has to do with the mirror that was protecting the
私
island,
たち
probably,
が
right?
権限できているほどです。今さらどんな大悪魔が呼び出せたとしても驚くには値します。
もはや六軒島は完全に異世界に飲み込まれているということですか。彼が屈服しないと良いのです
前回たっぷり入れ知恵をなされたでしょう。この程度では今さら屈服しますまい。おそらくですがね。
Yeah, but if he can get a friggin' have sex with Beatrice, he might give it all up. Just saying.
さて、私たちはこの舞台を楽しもうではありませんか。今回の主人公はどうやら親方様のようだ。お嬢様とは一味違った脚本に期待し
Yeah,
ましょう。
this is friggin' way different. When Kinzo strongly concentrated his magical power, a pale light gathered in empty air twisted, and magical circle was drawn, with a deep red glow. Oh, damn. And with a sound like glass breaking, a new demon could be seen there.
よくぞ我が呼びかけに応えた。
Okay, so this girl is in the thing behind me.
72柱の大悪魔が一つ。ガープよ。
I'm all about Ga.
すごいところに呼び出されたものね。
Dude, homegirl is a snack. Alright, let's look her up. Sorry guys, I'm taking breaks, but this is, okay, also Beatrice's friend. When Magician demands it, she grants the ability of instantaneous movement. She uses this extraordinary power for playing pranks mostly. Her specialty is hiding keys, bags during busy mornings. Keys? Alright. However, in the context of a closed room mysteries, this power can becomes an ultimate weapon that can easily strike a finishing blow. Her queen bee strikes are likely to pierce any and all detectives, forcing them into surrender. Yeah. Okay. As soon as I saw the key thing, I was like, alright.
この血まみれの部屋を掃除するために私は呼び出されたのかしら。ゴールドスミス。
The literally devilish woman, wrapped in a venomous, ominous costume, looked at the scene, which should have made her cover her eyes and twisted her mouth in a grin. I mean, I don't mind. I could stare at that side boob for quite a while. I don't know about you guys.
カシミヤのマフラーで雑巾掛けをするようなものですよ。
Homie's trying to
お
get
久しぶり
some.
ですね、ガープ。あなたのような大悪魔がとうとうこの島に現れてしまうなんて。いよいよこの島も幻想に沈むのでしょうか。
部屋の惨状よりもこの豪華キャストの方が驚くべきね。シエスタ姉妹が3人もいて、大悪魔ロの上に大魔女ワルギリアに私まで。これは何事？ここはパンデモニウム？地獄の演奏会でも始めるつもりかしら。なるほど。そこで指揮棒が震えるのはあなたぐらいしか思いつかないわ、ゴールドスミス。
So he's only obsessed with Beatrice? He has these other, like, hot witches that he could probably get with, too. Just saying.
進行役として協力してもらう。我が召喚契約に依存はないな。
依存も何も。天下の大魔女、ベアトリーチェを刺激した伝説の大召喚師、ゴールドスミス教の召喚霊族に、私が抗えるわけもない。協力はするわよ。もちろん。見合ったお題もいただくけどね。で、最初の仕事は
What's the price?
第一の番を免れた間抜けどもを捕らえよ。幸いにもここにはまだ7人いるではないか。南條にシャノンにカノン、ゴーダに熊沢、キリエにクラウス。ほう、この7人をまるまる生贄に捧げればちょうど13人だ。第二の番以降を実行するタイミングが訪れるまで生贄の檻に放り込んでおくがよかろう。
カシミヤの雑巾がけね。了解したわ。
As Gop shrugged her shoulders, she looked at Kraus, who was down on his butt. She glared. Then when she snapped her fingers, Kraus was swallowed up in the floor as though a round pitfall opened up beneath him. There was no hole in the floor, but it certainly looked as though Kraus had been swallowed up by a hole and disappeared. Searching for the next prey, Gop's gaze crossed Kyrie's. She snapped her fingers. Kyrie jumped back as though repelled. Her instincts had been right. After all, at a place where she had been until a second ago, a round, jet-black hole had appeared in the same kind that swallowed up Kraus. However, before she could reach her balance, another pitfall appeared and swallowed her up. Even Kyrie had no way of eluding Gop's capture. Let's just see it as... she snapped her fingers again as shock Nacho was swallowed up by the floor and disappeared. When she did again, 410 let out a short yell and jumped back. This time a slightly larger pitfall had opened, swallowing up with Shannon Cannon, who had been standing on the line by the door. But because Forehand had jumped away from the door, it was no longer blocked. Instinctively aware that he could be next, Goda dashed through that door. Of course, Kumasawa also escaped with lightning speed chasing after Goda. As Gop snapped her fingers over and over, round jet-black pitfalls opened one after another behind them, chasing them. However, they did nothing but drive the reckless fleeing pair away and couldn't swallow them up. Goda and Kumasawa had escaped in a matter of seconds.
鈍ったわ。二人逃がした。
ご安心を。逃走目標を捕捉中であります。
データリンクよし。にひ。狙撃しますか？
いいえ、それは許可できませんよ。
They had to wait till the second twilight.
生贄です。親方様の許可を待つよう。
大ゴールドスミス教、指示を待ちます。
第二の番の訪れにはまだ早いと我が魔力の源泉がささやいておるわ。今はならぬ。好きにさせてやれ。
So they're gonna end up warning the kids.
この島からは逃げられぬわ。
親方様の魔力の源泉とはすなわちノイズとリスクと運試し。つまりは気まぐれというわけですか？
そうとも言うかもしれぬ。
Dude, I want to walk around in a cave like fucking Kinzo does.
ガープ、ご苦労。儀式はこのまま着実に進めよう。さて、それはそれとして、次は我が孫たちだ。 次期当主たる資格があるかどうかを試す。
Yeah, I figured he would make this into a test like that.
はてさて、どうやってその資質を確かめたものか。
その資格があると判断されたなら、ベアとの復活を断念されるおつもりで？
無論だ。にもかかわらず試す。女の身にはわからぬであろうな。この矛盾、我が狂気など。
相変わらず男ってどこか変ね。リスクを遊ぶという概念わかりかねるわ。
おやおや、あなたはそういうのが大好きかと思っておりましたが。
もちろんよ、男に危険なリスクと一緒に恋をささやかれたらキュンキュンしちゃうわ。
I'm gonna start taking notes.
ただしイケメンに限る。
Damn, I don't know if I make the... If Kinzo makes the cut, I think I might make the cut though. Gop, I started working out again. Come
お
on.
静かに、死後は慎むように。
実にかしましい奴らだ。だが少なくとも退屈はせぬ。これだから召喚は愉快なのだ。
Oh, is that what
そ
makes it
なたら
pleasant?
には我が儀式のノイズとリスクの天秤の片側を担ってもらうぞ。その働きに期待している。
Six brutally murdered corpses lay in the dining hall, and it was contaminated with red, gruesome decorations. It was now unimaginable that just a second ago, 13 humans had been arranged here. A second, whatever. Had been arranged here in a well-organized manner. Kinzo lined up the famous demons and their subordinates, loudly declaring at the beginning of the night overwhelming mass murders, and swore to himself that he would certainly revive Beatrice and open the door to the Golden Land.
待たせたな。これにて第一の番、いよいよ開幕。金蔵め、相変わらず派手を好む男よ。付きまとわれればしつこいことこの上なき男も、舞台の上ではこれほどまでに映えるというのか。
I like how each person kind of has their own weakness.
くそ、相変わらず黒い殺し方ばかりしやがって。頭部半壊だ。てめえら魔女ども悪魔どもの悪趣味には相変わらずうんざりさせら。
頭部半壊。なるほど。これまでのゲームで一番理想的な殺し方がこれだと気づいたわけね。
理想的？
Yeah, because it looks the most
このひで
unnatural,
え
right?
殺し方がどう理想的だってんだ。
実に理想的じゃない。一番最初のゲームを思い出してみるといい。
お前はさっき登場しやがった新しい悪魔とかいうやつか。くそ、また魔女の侵食が進んでろくでもないやつが増えたというわけなのか。
The more the witch's corrosion advances, the more Rokujima tilts towards the spirit world. That's why strange, insane people keep appearing one by one. The island has been closed off by the typhoon, so no human can leave it, much less appear as a new character to increase their numbers. But the more corrosion advances, the more witches and demons can appear without limit, increasing one by one. By now, there might even be more demons and humans among the characters appearing in this insane tale. Their numbers might be the thing that repeats in this mad corrosion. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. And the corrosion hasn't just affected the number of people, but apparently their fashion sense as well. Yeah. If the corrosion advances any further, and even more weird people appear, what in the world will they be wearing? I mean, it's so scary. I wouldn't call it scary. I'm a big fan of this new witch. Ah, seriously, give me a break. Don't make these weird guys increase in numbers anymore. The next person that shows up, they have like a male witch in a Borat swimsuit.
人間どもの語るクローズドサークルなる間抜けなルールをわらわがいくらでも怪我してやろうぞ。よく来たな、ガープよ。
お久しぶりね、リーチェ。お元気だったというか随分元気そうじゃない。あなた若返った？私が知ってる頃より2、300歳は若々しいわ。ああ、なるほど。
The demon grandfather had summoned and introduces Gop, took a glance at me and then grinned as though she'd figured something out on her own. The smile felt openly obscene.
ベアとの友人らしいな。ってことは輪をかけてろくでもねえやつってわけだ。しかしクローズドサークルがなんとかって言ってやがったが、どういう意味だ？
今の六軒島のような外界から断絶された場所で起こる連続殺人ミステリーはクローズドサークルとも呼ばれるわ。外界からの断絶、つまりは閉じられた輪の世界というわけ。故に登場人物と容疑者は限定されるのが一般的にもかかわらず、新しい容疑者候補が次々に輪の外から追加されていくのはミステリーの作法に反する。つまり人間とミステリーに対する魔女の冒涜ってつもりなんでしょう。
あなたがグレーテル？なるほど、賢い子みたいね。そういう子は好きよ。舌が甘くてとろけるから。気色悪い。冗談は服だけにしておいて。デビリッシュプリティの最新作、ジャック・ザ・リッパー・クリスマス・ブラッド。人間界の田舎娘には理解できないセンスでごめんね。
通気性がいいのだけは理解できたわ。ついでに頭にも切れ目を入れたら？脳みその通気性も良くなるかもね。
ガープは魔界の流行にいつも敏感でな。しかし今年の流行りも実に大胆だ。わらわも一度ぜひ取り寄せてみるとしよう。
Please.
リーチェにはアリグレがおすすめね。アリス&ザ・グレーブヤード。今度一緒に666にお洋服見に行きましょうよ。たまには魔界にもいらっしゃいな。
このゲームを終えたらぜひそうしようぜ。
それにしてもリーチの対戦相手のお二人はなかなか可愛いわ。この子なら東部半壊死体にどういう意味があるか察しがつきそうね。わかる？お嬢ちゃん。
さっきこいつは一番最初のゲームを思い出せと言ったな。どういう意味だ？
言葉通りの意味を一番最初のゲームの第一の番を思い出して、大人たちの死体が魔法陣の描かれた園芸倉庫の中で発見され、覚えてる
？Episode 1, The First Twilight. Kraus, Rudolph, Kyrie, Rosa, Shannon, and Goda. All 6 of them had their heads pulverized and died.
あの時、あそこには2種類の死体があったわ。それは顔面を粉砕された死体と側面を粉砕された死体の2種類。
そうだ、顔面粉砕はルドルフ、キリエ、ローズ、ゴーダの4人。側頭部粉砕はクラウス、シャノンの2人だ。わらわもあの時点では気まぐれに生み出した2種類の死体であったが、より残忍な死体である前者の方がわらわにとってむしろ不利であることに気づいたのだ。
ベアトにとって不利？そうか、そういうことか。
That's right. The smashed faces might look atrocious, but that made it hard to confirm the identity of each person. For example, at the time Kraus and Shannon had their half head smashed, that alone was atrocious enough, but because of half their faces remained, it was easy to confirm their identities. But Dad and the other three were different. Because his face had been completely destroyed, even I, as his son, could only guess by the inference that it looked to be Dad because of his clothes and the like. In short, it remained vague until the end that we really had been Dad's corpse.
第1のゲームの時にも、もしも推理バトルが行われてたなら、俺は多分、親父たちの死体を本人確認不能のため、偽装死体の可能性もあると主張していたかもしれない。何しろ、あのゲームの時には、ベアとは一切、赤での発言もして。
お上手よ。それで正解。偽装死はミステリーの基本の一つ。たとえ医者に検証させたとしても、犯人とグルを疑われれば、その結果は信用できない。つまり確実な死を保証できない死体は常に魔女サイドを不利にするということ。
あらゆる死体について偽装死を疑い、その後の事件の犯人に想定することができる。バトラの嫌う手だけど、魔女に対する最も初歩的な一手ね。
ああ、そうだ。だからベアとは赤を使い出した。赤き真実で完璧な検証を行うようになったんだ。
Or so we think.
そういうことだ。本来ならばこの第一の番の惨劇にわらわはすぐにでも赤き真実にてこのたしかし知っての通り、今回のわらわの戦法はこれまでとは正反対に赤き真実の兵糧攻めといったところ。そなたが反撃の拠り所にしようとする以上、わらわは容易には赤を使わぬ。必要最低限の赤にてたった一箇所だけほころびさせればいい。つまりわらわは究極的に言えば、そなたのあらゆる密室の推理についてあらゆる暴言を許せども、そのうちの一つをたった一回の若き真実にて打ち破るだけで良いわけだ。
That's unless he comes up with multiple theories.
散々俺をいたぶってきやがったくせに、俺が反撃に使い出したら今度は引っ込めやがったってわけだ。ふざけやがってよ。
とにかく赤を使いたくない。けちりたい。
バトラをいじめてやりたい。しかし赤を使わずに確実なる死を保証するにはどうすればよいのか。わらわは悩みに悩んだわけだ。そのアイデアをガープがくれ、実に簡単な方法だったのだ。
当たり前なことを言ったらリーチがひらめいただけよ。私は誰にでも容易に身元の判別と完全なる死が理解できる死体を用意すればいいと言っただけ。
It's hard
つま
to
りはその二つを合
having
体さ
half
せ
your
たわ
head
け。
caved in is also kind of
身元の判別に必要な顔と完全なる死の象徴である
I guess you
魂
could
の
use like a
器たる頭
sledgehammer,
部の
but
粉砕。この二つを左右ぴったりきれいに合体させたら、あら不思議。この頭部半壊死体がパーフェクトであるという答えが出たわけだ。
it's almost harder to smash half of it and keep half like looking like you could tell who the person is than like I guess if they did it from the back. I'm trying to think of like what do they mean by half? Is it like here? I think it's a half like in the middle, like here. If it was just the back of the head, it would be easier. But Asher, I don't know. This is kind of
お前絶対二色パンとか二色アイスが好きだろ。欲張りな子供市民丸出しだぜ。
いずれにせよ、たとえ頭部が反壊していたとしても、現時点では彼らが死んだとみなすべきではないわ。
分かってる。ベアトがもったいぶって赤での宣言を拒む以上、全ては疑ってかかるべきだ。
yeah. Just come up with different theories, homie. I think they said this
もちろん
before.
シエスタの太もも姉ちゃんたちの 魔法殺人だって鵜呑みになんか絶対しねえぜ。
本当に慎重になったこと。最初のゲームの頃だったなら何でもかんでも鵜呑みにしてくれていたのにね。
公敵手はこうでなくては面白くないというものよ。今は赤がないことを幸いに自由な想像を広げ好きに推理を重ねるがいい。一番最後一番おいしいところでバッサリと赤き真実に
Now, if he
叩き
has,
切ってくれ
let's
よ。
say he comes up with like 4 theories, and she has to use a different red on each one. I mean, that can really cut things down. 4 is kind of a lot to ask, to be honest. Okay, well, I didn't expect it to just randomly stop there. It's like random dripping. What is going on? Silent, black, cold, painful. Rosa regained consciousness bit by bit, and the first thing she thought was that it would have been better if she hadn't. After all, with her body this cold and hurting, the pain grew, and the more consciousness returned. It felt like she had been sleeping on a cold marble in the darkness, lying face down for a long time. This is why I always tell myself, even if it's just for a nap, I've got to at least grab a sofa. I know that if I try naively to close my eyes just for a second, I end up sleeping on the floor in the study chair, and I'll hurt my body later and make things difficult. Since I slept on such a cold, hard floor, even my bones are ice cold. Since I slept on such a cold, hard floor, the half of my face pressed down on it hurts a lot. If I were to look in a mirror now, I'm sure I would see an embarrassing mark. I didn't think that just rubbing it would make the mark disappear, but I stroked the hurting side of my face, trying to smooth it over. Isn't she dead? Half the side is missing, probably. I thought it was pitch black, but it looks like it isn't. After all, I can faintly see my own body. Without a doubt, there was some source of light, but even if I looked up at the ceiling or the sky, there was only an expanse of blackness, and I couldn't see a proper light. My body alone was lightly lit, whereas everything else was sunk in darkness. That's what this world was like. Yeah, she was killed. It was almost as though Rosa alone, had been abandoned in a forgotten world. As her mind grew clearer, she started getting nervous about why she was alone in a lonely place like this. She was about to call out when she heard the patter, patter, patter of footsteps coming toward her. They were light footsteps, so she thought it was probably a kid. She didn't sense anything disturbing, so she wasn't afraid. Is it Maria? But they also weren't Maria's footsteps. So, wondering who in the world would be in a darkness like this, she started staring in the direction the footsteps were coming from. As she did, a faint, approaching silhouette came into view. Sakataro! It looked like a child much younger than Maria. Who is it? I don't know this kid, but the expression of his face was like a lost child separated from his parents. As a parent with a daughter herself, Rosa felt as though her chest had been torn apart. Yeah, because you murdered this kid. The instant the kid muttered that infantile word, she felt a pain in half of her face and started hurting from the cold floor, as though she had been pierced by long, thin, hard needles. Without thinking, she pressed her hand against the side of her face.
大丈夫？まだ痛い？
ありがとう、僕。ここはどこ？すごく寒いわ。
こっちへ来て。ここにいちゃいけない。
The child took the hand and pulled with a grim expression on his face. Rosa didn't have a clue what was going on. However, a single honest expression on a child can often tell the truth behind truth better than 100 words from an adult. She didn't know the situation, but even so, she dashed along. with him still being pulled. But this was a world where nothing could be seen in the darkness except for their own forms. It didn't even really feel like she was moving forwards. Even though she was running, she couldn't even feel any wind. It was as though she was still inside a nightmare. The kind of unreal situation. I need to stop here because I have to go. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to cancel or do another thing for this. If I don't, this was awesome episode. One of the best in a long, long time. Not that I haven't liked it, but I mean, this is getting very interesting to me. I liked episode 3. Well, that whole thing, or I should say this part I filmed is one of my favorites. Yeah, huge fan. So interesting. And I am really intrigued to see what happens with Rosa here, who is everyone's favorite right now after this last chapter we had. But we will see what goes on. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, be on the lookout for the next video. Like I said, I'm probably not going to get to the point where I was doing 4 videos a week. Probably some weeks will be hopefully 2. Some will be 3 maybe. That'll be pretty rare though. But we'll see. Maybe I'll get some more free time or be able to plan out a little better. So, but yeah, let me know what you thought about the episode in the comments below.